Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Jeff Crilley Show. This has been such a fast hour. I've really enjoyed this show. The Zika virus. I mean, the world is obsessed about the Zika virus, and a Dallas entrepreneur is in studio with me, and I've been using the expression, he's got the media world buzzing. But honestly, you've done a dozen interviews in the last couple weeks. Steve Moore, he goes by Mosquito Steve. I love the branding. How did you come up with Mosquito Steve?
Well, so I belong to this group, and there's a bunch of Steves in it. And so whenever somebody wanted to say which Steve, they'd say Mosquito Steve. And we were trying to come up with a name for the new business. There are so many people in this business. There's not any cute mosquito names left, so we're trying to come up with a name, and came up with a name that the state didn't allow. And so it was in a hurry. So I was like, okay, just call it Mosquito Steve.
But you know what? It's sticky in the branding world, advertising world, that you hear it once and you remember. And I mean, do people that you've met like one time come up to you and say Mosquito Steve?
Oh my gosh! So I did a lot of advertising last year. I have people come up wanting selfies with me. I mean, it is crazy. It is it really is. But I think what sets it apart, what gets people's attention, is the 900 mosquito bites in one night. When they hear that I've had, actually it was probably closer to 1,500, but when they hear that I've had that many mosquito bites in one night, it gets their attention. It's like, okay, I want to know your story. So.
Okay, so let's hear that process. I mean, when you are working on a repellent, you use yourself as a pincushion.
Yes. Exactly, that's what it is. And so, and I have to tell you, the days that I have to do my testing are so depressing. They really are. So I don't enjoy it. This is not because I like getting mosquito bites, but I've determined the only way to get an accurate test on a mosquito product, whether it's mine or somebody else's, is to actually be out in the field and do field trials and do human landing rates. Federal government doesn't allow those anymore, so pretty much most of the products just do lab testing. Well, I can kill, mosquitoes with water in a lab pretty much, and so it's not very accurate. So that's why I test all my products. I've tested all the others. I've tested DEET, permethrin, pyrethrin, all the the chemical products and stuff like that. So. And then somebody will send me a note on Facebook. Oh, I heard you can put a dryer sheet in your pants and the mosquitoes won't bite you. So unfortunately, it means I got to go out and test a dryer sheet. So I really do, and I can tell them it doesn't work.
Well, one of the things I know you're passionate about is natural solutions. Yes. The chemicals that are all around us, and especially in your industry, could be harmful.
Absolutely. So I think when I first got in the industry in 2002, I was the first guy from Dallas to do misting systems, and I heard, we'll use this pyrethrins because it comes from a chrysanthemum, and so it must be okay. Well, the truth is if you and I walked through a field of those chrysanthemums, it would make us very sick and possibly kill us. So these are not regular chrysanthemums, and so. Then I started studying the industry a lot and started practicing and testing on some different products. And the problem with the natural products market is there's a lot of products out there, but they're almost as good as the chemicals. They're not quite there. And so that's why I started doing research just on naturals in 2008, but I didn't want to launch until I was sure that we had products that were better than the chemicals. And that's why a couple of years ago we decided it's time to let the world know, because we got better spray-on repellents, we've got better area sprays and everything. And so I wanted to make sure we're better than the chemicals. But I do. Every time I hear about a chemical, I've tested all the chemicals. And the problem is if you read the label, it says on permethrin and pyrethrins, which are the leading pesticides, it says they kill fish. Wow. So that's why I tell people, read the label. So if it says it kills fish, and on permethrin it says it can kill cats, so think about, having that around your body. Do you really want that around you? I don't.
Absolutely. And I was at Fox 4 when the West Nile epidemic was going crazy a few years ago, and they had the planes, and they were, that freaks you out. I mean, that's your feeling is that what they're dropping from the planes, they shouldn't have been dropping.
Well, so there's a lot that went wrong back then. So first of all, there were hundreds of fish killed at White Rock Lake. Up on the side of that, you can actually find, if you Google it, you can find pictures of them. And our county, I'm not going to say the name, but he said that the fish drowned. That was his excuse. So the deal is they also told us, oh, you have to be in. We're going to spray at 10. You have to be indoors. Well, it was raining during one of those nights, so they actually started spraying about 8:45 in the evening, which I thought was really weird. It's like, you really don't want to spray people. Why are you starting early? So they asked her on Channel 4, they asked this girl from the company that supplies the airplanes for them why they started early and won't that be bad, especially with the rain? And she said, well, the rain actually flushes the mosquitoes out so the product will work better. Well, if you're in a mosquito, that's the opposite of what happens. So a mosquito is so tiny, a raindrop can kill a mosquito. Their instinct is to hide, even if there's a chance of rain. So when I go out to do mosquito testing, if it looks like it's going to rain, I can't find enough mosquitoes to do testing. Wow. And so that's how I know. Most of the people in this industry don't know how well their products work. They don't know how mosquitoes act. Most of them have no idea what they're doing. It's about selling a product. It's not about whether it works or not.
Mosquito Steve is my guest. MosquitoSteve.com is his website. Let's talk about the Zika virus because your phone's been blowing up. You've got pregnant moms who are saying,
I don't have pregnant moms.
Well, I don't. A disclaimer.
They're all over the country. No.
But, I mean, the calls are from panicked women with children saying, Steve, get over here.
Yes. So moms love the products anyways because there's not a lot of products you can put on your kids. But I will tell you that, so if you're pregnant, you don't want West Nile virus. You don't want encephalitis. You don't want chikungunya. You don't want any of those things. Certainly don't want dengue fever. So there's no disease that a mosquito carries, and there's about 150 different pathogens they carry. There's none of those that you want if you're pregnant. So there's the Zika virus has been around since the 40s, and there's actually a theory a lot of people are proposing that it's what we do to get rid of mosquitoes. It's actually caused the virus to kind of morph itself into something that's causing the birth defects in Brazil, because back in the 40s it didn't cause those birth defects. So now if you get Zika virus and you're pregnant, it causes the birth defects. So that's why I say we don't really know much about the chemicals that we're spraying. Most of the people I know have no idea, and there's a lot of guys in the industry that still think it's the best way to go. Let's kill everything. It's the best way to go. We also, mine are repellents, so I'm not killing anything. If you kill mosquitoes, you're killing ladybugs, butterflies, and bees too. So it's really, really critical. So what I've got to do is I've got to change the thought process. I got to teach people that it's okay to repel, and repelling works better. And that's really that's my my main message when I'm out there now.
Well, it seems like the media is freaking out. I mean, I saw one headline that said Zika virus could be worse than Ebola. And I don't even know if you can compare those two. They're completely different. But what is your view? Is the media hyping this out of proportion, or is the Zika virus something that we really need to be aware of and protect ourselves against?
Well, there's people really don't know. They really should be quiet until they do know. The problem is that there are no mosquitoes over here so far that have tested positive for Zika virus. It's only people. So if you don't have sex, you're probably not going to get the Zika virus.
Right.
So I would, I don't know. People talk so much about all these diseases, and they really don't have any idea. Dengue fever crossed into Texas about 5 years ago, and it took the CDC 5 years to report it. That's a disease you want to be careful of. Now, that's a disease that kills a lot of the people that get it. That's one that I'd be very concerned about. If you're pregnant, always wear protection. You just don't take a chance on anything. Encephalitis has been over here for a long time. You definitely don't want any of those other diseases.
So let's pretty soon we'll be into backyard barbecue season and people sitting by the pool. And why don't you give some insight into what a average family could expect to pay to bring you in to do your magic, and and how you do what you do.
Okay, so since I got in the business, my whole focus has been to bring the cost of mosquito protection down, because when I got in the business, the only people that could afford it were people in Highland Park. It was $3,500, $5,000 for a misting system. And at that time, though, I will tell you, misting systems really worked. Mosquitoes adapt really fast. And so I believe they've adapted to where they hide when there's misting. And so what we did is we now have a yard spray that gets them out of their hiding places. Then when you mist, it's the closest thing to 100% efficacy you're going to get. And so it's a combination of things. It's still not cheap, but we brought the cost down. Like, you can get a misting system now for $1,500, and up, and that's most people would have. I mean, most other companies are like $2,000 more. So I've got lots of good service providers. I've got good Lambert's Landscaping, people like that actually do the yard sprays, and so that's a real good place to start is do some yard sprays. And I got great DIY products. So if you don't have a budget for any of that, go on my website and there's some options for you too.
And without giving away your secret formula, because I know it's proprietary, when we talk about natural, we're talking about stuff from nature?
It's essential oils. And so the EPA puts out a list called the 25B list. And it's a list of ingredients that they figure are so harmless they don't regulate them. And so the goal has always been to come up with a product from that list. In fact, there's an entomologist in Houston that's discovered the Holy Grail, because that's what everybody wanted, was a product that actually worked. There's a lot of products from that list, but there's not many that work very well. 60 or 70% is about all you can get out of most natural products. I've seen natural products that actually claim they get as high as 78%. If my products go below 90% in my testing, I throw them out and we start over.
Wow. Yeah. How long did you have to test and retest before you developed your Colonel Sanders secret recipe?
Oh my God, I've done literally hundreds of tests. I mean, it's so depressing those days. I'm telling you, it really is, because and I do long hours. So there have been times, I'll be out in somebody's yard at 2:00 in the morning with rats running around over in University Park and stuff like that, and I'm counting how many mosquitoes are landing on me. And I mean, it's spooky. But I've done hundreds and hundreds of tests. So. And it's really important, though, that I do test the other products. And there's a couple of products. In fact, I'll tell you, one that's not mine is Picardin. Picardin's a natural product, and they use it in Avon Skin So Soft. But I will tell you this, lotions and wipes don't work very well. Always use a spray-on pump spray repellent. They always work better. They're twice as effective.
And a little dab will do you? I mean, do you spray and respray, or what should you do?
So you always cover all of your open skin, but I'll tell you, when I'm testing for the spray-on repellents, I spray everything but my eyeballs, and the mosquitoes attack my eyeballs.
No
So
kidding.
Just know this, that the mosquitoes, they're going to come after whatever they can.
We've got about a minute left. Mosquitoes, even if we're not worried about Zika necessarily, they do carry disease.
Yes. So you just, be smart. Protect yourself. In Dallas, one of the first guys to get West Nile virus just walked to his mailbox and back. And that was that. He got West Nile virus and died.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So protect yourself all the time when you're outside. And if you got kids, protect them too.
What about pets?
Oh, that's what's great. All my products are safe on kids and pets. Natural products are good around kids and pets. I got products that keep mosquitoes and flies off horses and cows and all kinds of things. And so our products are really made for pets too.
Do you know if the Zika virus or West Nile can affect a pet?
So there's actually never been a case where West Nile has affected a dog. They've had it, but they don't show any symptoms from it. And so I don't know about Zika, but I know that they can be carriers. I imagine just like people can. So the thing about West Nile virus is if somebody a mosquito bites me and then goes and bites you, you're not going to get West Nile virus from me.
Gotcha.
So that's but with Zika, that's not the case.
So when should people be contacting you? Like right now, or do
oh
we
my
wait?
gosh, yeah, I've never had a February like this. This is amazing. The phones are going nuts these days. So.
Well, and how do they get a hold of you? mosquitosteve.com?
That's right, and 214-536-9487 is my personal cell number.
Awesome. Thank you so much.